Hi guys, Zaretian here from the Modern Terrain Craft. Well, actually my name is Kenneth, but yeah, today we're gonna be starting on a whole new series. As you can see behind me, we're gonna be start by making terrain of The Walking Dead All Out War. And this first episode will feature Dale's RV, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I know I will, so yeah, without further ado, let's get started and I'll see you on the crafting table. Okay guys, let's get to it. Okay guys, to start the project of Dale's RV, what we're gonna need is, well, a couple of images. So I went on Google Images and simply typed in Dale's RV, side view, whatever you want. And I ended up with something I like very much, and there was this image. It's from Pinterest. I don't know who the artist was or who made it, but yeah, I simply clicked on this image because it has a nice side view. Now what we're gonna do is get our ruler. Now for me, I already know the size, but just print it so that is 7 inches in width. So we have 7 inches from left to right, 7 inches, and the height is 2.5 inches, almost. Well, let's just say 2.5 inches. Well, 2.7 inches. All right. So we have 7 inch this way, 2 2.7 of an inch. Yeah, I'm usually working with centimeters, so it's. But yeah, so. Wait. Sorry guys, that's what happens when you measure in centimeters instead of inches, trying to do it this way. But no, scratch that. It's 7 inches this way, and it's 2 inches and a fourth. 2 inches and a fourth, so 2.4 inch. Okay, 7 2.4. Sorry guys. Okay, now what we're gonna do is simply we're gonna take our scissors and we're gonna start by cutting this out. You don't need all the details on the roof because that's not important right now. Just make sure that you cut out. Well, actually it doesn't really matter because we're gonna take an X-Acto to it anyway, but just, yeah, basically cut out something like this. Just cut off the wheels. You don't need the wheels. We're going to be making them separately. Then next what you do is, let me see if I can find it, is grab some thick cardstock. Voila. Then we're going to grab ourselves a glue stick. A very simple glue stick. See? And we're going to glue this onto the cardstock. Doesn't have to be neat or nice, it's not exact science, but just glue it to the cardstock, like so. That's the nice thing about this glue stick. You can take your scissors to it right away. If you can do this with white glue as well, but it will take a hell of a lot longer to dry. Not all that much, but still. And as you see, I'm simply cutting this out. Let me put this aside. And what I'm going to do now, and now you have to be exact, is simply cut at the lines. Because basically what we're going to do is we're going to be making a template. See? So you have to be precise here. Just simply cut it out. And you just need the skeleton, not the stairs, not the wheels, nothing. Just the skeleton of the RV. I'm going to use an X-Acto to cut this out. get yourself a sharp X-Acto, not the dull one like I have here, which I'm gonna change up in a second. But yeah. Just, and what you end up with is something like this. See? But it has the exact shape of Dale's RV. Now, next thing we're gonna do, next thing that I'm gonna do is put together a good X-Acto and a sharp one. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I changed my blade. Next we're gonna do is simply cut out the door from the template. Just simply go nicely over the lines, and we're gonna be cutting out the door. Because it's kind of thick cardboard, cardstock I mean, sorry. So maybe you need a few passes with the X-Acto to get through. Okay guys, so bear with me. It's really thick cardstock. If you want, you can always take a pass on the back side. So obviously help a little bit. Just be careful at the bottom piece here, because it's rather thin, so be careful there. Now we're gonna do the exact same thing with this window, and this window, okay? When this is done, I'll be back. Voila, that is done. Now what you're gonna do next is grab yourself some foam board. Just a simply piece of foam board. And you guys who have the ready board, very cool for you. That's awesome, because I have the regular, because the ready board isn't available here in Belgium, so I'm kind of screwed on that part. What we're gonna do next is simply take a pencil to it, and we're gonna trace. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. Trace the template. Like this. Trace the template. So we end up with a nice detailed image of Dale's RV on our foam board. See? I don't know if you can see it with the light. There we go. Dale's RV. And, well, again, X-Acto knife, and very gently and easily. Now, you don't have to use an X-Acto, you can use a box cutter for this too. Just make sure, whatever knife you're using, that the blade is nice and sharp to cut through the foam board, okay? So, I'll be back when I've cut this out. Okay, so, next step. Now, there is one thing I would like to mention. This will differ for all of you. For the guys who just want the RV to be a set piece that stands on the board, all you gotta do is simply, before you take off the paper, make an indentation on the door, the windows, where the details will go. Just, you don't cut through the foam board, just score it deep enough, and then, well, you take a ballpoint pen and run it through. Now for me, I want this RV to be playable on the inside, so I can have miniatures play on the inside. As I said, it will differ for all. Not everybody wants to invest that much detail. But yeah, that's how I'm gonna make it. So you guys who don't want to do that, to be playable on the inside, you can skip the step I'm gonna do now. Just simply score the lines before you take off the paper. I'm going to cut out the door, gonna cut out the windows, and then I'll be back. Okay? So, well, I'll simply show you. I'm gonna cut the door. Took a box cutter quickly. Don't know why I can use my X-Acto, but simply cut out the door. Turn this thing around as well if you are doubting that you got through your lines, so be careful. Okay, so as you can see, I've cut out the door. Now I'm gonna cut out the windows. Voila! So now I'm gonna start by peeling off the paper. I have a little bit of water mixed with an alcohol, a rubbing alcohol. Simply spraying that on there. And sorry, went off camera for a second. And just simply rub that in. It doesn't work miracles, but it does help a little bit to get the paper off. If you have the ready board, you just go and you're done. I should maybe order it online or something, I don't know, but it would help me a great deal with projects like this. Okay, so I'll be back when this is done. Okay, so the paper is off. Now, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna compare. You can, by the way, if you don't feel comfortable in drawing all these things just by view, just cut out these parts as well in the template and trace them onto the paper. Now I'm simply going to do it by hand. Just simply freehand it a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to look like it, like so. What we basically are going to be doing is getting all the details of the grades and the outlets and everything. We're going to draw that into the RV. Like so. Wow. Now, before we start making cuts and everything in this, now for the fun part, the thing we've done once, we're going to be doing that again on another piece of foam board. So yeah, I'm not going to show you the entire thing of me doing this. I'll skip this and I'll be back. So I've done that. As you can see, I now have two parts. But what I did is I have several I printed several images of the internet, to also from Google Images, to how the RV exactly looks like, some reference pictures. See, the back side, this is one for the roof, how the back side looks, the front, and this, important for now, the other side. As you can see, it has, instead of the door here, it has the front seat window and two side windows, which I drew in. So basically what I did, I took the template, because the back side is the same, drew that one here, drew the front window here, then moved this and kind of looked at the reference picture and then marked this here. And now I'm going to be cutting these out as well, again for the guys who are making the RV not playable inside. Simply score it, don't cut out the windows, just score the windows, okay? Also, before you, when you took the template and you made the second part, be sure before you peel off the paper, you flip that you have mirror parts, because if you go like this you will end up with two the same parts and that's no use. So flip it over, okay guys? And then yeah, I'm gonna peel off the paper again. Okay, so as you can see, we have two parts. I'll line them up just to make sure they are even. And they are as good as, not entirely, so we're gonna cut off the piece that is sticking out a little bit, because we need exact same shapes, or otherwise our other parts won't fit. There we go. Careful, always mind your fingers. Okay, next, as I said, I have my reference picture, so you guys who also want to get reference picture, just Google Dale's RV and you will find it. And for those of you who don't want to do it, well, don't worry about it, because I did it for you, so you can just follow this tutorial. And there are not much details on this side, which I actually like, because sometimes it can be a pain to do all these things. Now, next we take one of our, and we're gonna measure it, and this time it will be in centimeters, guys. So we're gonna take our ballpoint pen, and we're gonna put it at the top, and we're gonna measure half a centimeter every time. So from the top to the bottom, hey, what do you know, it's actually 6 centimeters the height. So from the top we're gonna draw half a centimeter, half a centimeter, half a centimeter, and so on. Just mark it out. See? I'm gonna be doing the same thing here. We're marking out half a centimeters. Do that on both parts, and then simply connect the dots and draw the line. Do that for the entire piece, the entire RV. For the guys who, the guys or girls, who didn't cut out the doors and the windows, who just want it as a set piece, don't cut those lines over the windows, of course. So I'm going to continue drawing all these lines in, and I'm going to do that on the other part as well, and then I'll be back. Okay, when that is done, see, I've drawn them on both sides. Then you take your knife and you're gonna be scoring the line. Keep it nice and straight. If you can do this with a ruler, if you don't have a steady hand, don't worry about it, it's no problem. Just simply score deep enough with your knife. Don't cut through it, of course, be careful. But just score it deep enough with your knife that the grooves start to pop out. Careful not to cut through too many of the details. It will give an odd look if you do. When that is done, you take a pin like this. You can use a ballpoint pen too, but I prefer this because this is less wide, and just simply mark out, as you would with the ballpoint pen, the line you just cut. And with the pin it will give it enough 3D effect, but it won't widen it too much like it would with the ballpoint pen. So that's why I prefer to use these pins for these type of projects like this. And you're gonna do that with the other side as well. So I hope you guys can see. Gives a nice rigid effect as Dale's RV has. Okay, now when that is done, we're gonna be making our floor. Now take your template and another piece of foam board, place it on there until where you want the floor to be. So you simply mark out before this part here. So you mark out here and you mark out here, and that will be the length of your floor. And let's measure this quickly. In centimeters it is exactly 17 centimeters, and in inches it is well, a little over 6.5 inches. Now, depending on how wide you want it, I'm simply gonna go for about 6 centimeters, I'm guessing. No, that's actually too wide. I'm gonna take 5 centimeters of inside. So let's quickly draw this first. Mark out 5 centimeters. And same here. Draw this line first. Mark out 5 centimeters. And then connect the dots. Take your knife and cut it out. I simply take my ruler to it just to be sure. And this is my floor. So we will be gluing that in here later on. Okay? But not yet. So it will give the RV, it will look something like this. See? Okay. Now, for those of you who want also a playable interior, we're going to be gluing details on the inside of the floor. Okay? Now, I found on internet also this image. It's an interior of a chieftain. It's exactly the Winnebago interior as Dale's RV is using. So I took this actually as a reference. You don't have to look it up. Just simply do what I do and then you're good to go. So you don't have to peel off the paper on this one because we're going to be building that up. What we're going to do is we're first going to take this part and see this where the door ends. We're going to mark that out. So as you can see, I take the door, I place this on the front like so, and mark out where the door will be. So this line will be our seats. Straight line, of course. So here will be here will be the steering wheel, 2 seats, which I'm just roughly sketching at the moment. Then, as you can see, you have that table and the benches here. So I'm gonna be marking that out as well. Just make it about 4 centimeters, that'll do. Now this is just simply something so to fill up the inside so the miniatures can walk around it a little bit. You don't have to go nuts and overboard with the details. It's just well, it's just fun to have a little bit going on inside. Yeah, I'm not even being precise, so I might as well better do that. So I simply go 1.5 centimeters here, and then go 1.5 centimeters here. Now, let's forget this line. This is just simply a very few basic things, guys. I mean, we're not going nuts on here. So yeah, I'm gonna be making, because this is where the door is. The door. Draw a line. This will be for the toilet stall. About 3 centimeters will do. 3 centimeters by 2 centimeters. I'll make it 2.5 so a miniature can actually stand in there. As I said, guys, you don't have to do this, it's just something that I like to do. So, okay, rough sketching, I will show you. I will take a different color marker and I will show you. Okay, so what do we have? We have 1.5 centimeters here and 1.5 centimeters here. Then here we have 2.5 centimeters this way, 3 centimeters this way. So 2.5, this is 1.5 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters by 3 centimeters. Also this is 1.5, this is just blank space. This part was 2.5 also by 5 centimeters, 2.5 by 5. All the rest I'm just gonna leave blank, just put a few details in there just to, you know, sprucing it up a little bit. Now let's first stack up our things here so we have the table and everything. Then take your offcut foam board, take your interior, and this is about 2 centimeters. Place that inside and mark out the edge of the wall. See? Then simply take your scissor to it, make sure you do cut it straight. Dry fit it. I already cut a bunch of these, but you're gonna need three pieces. You're gonna need 3 pieces to build up the table, and some popsicle sticks will be gluing on top. So yeah, cut out 3 blocks, and then the popsicle sticks just simply lop off. Careful not to cut in your finger, just lop off the tops and start by marking them out roughly. As I said, it's nice to have an interior, but it doesn't have to be all that perfect, guys. It's just a little interior because probably nobody's really gonna play in the RV, but I'm just showing you the options. Okay, so in the meantime my glue gun is heating up. I take one of my blocks, so might also be a good idea to put glue in your glue gun. Then take my block, simply squirt on a little bit, take the other piece, simply glue it on top there. You can see it will build up in height nicely. You can always quickly grab a miniature. I still have some unpainted ones here. So yeah, see, simply grab a miniature for scale, so we can go. Yeah, the table will be 3 blocks, will be perfect. And this is what happens when you don't measure, of course. You have to, but well, as I said, just doing this roughly like so. Build up 3 blocks, cut them to size a little bit, and then same thing, same deal with the popsicle sticks. Just squirt your hot glue on top of this and glue down the popsicle stick. Same for the other one. So you will end up with something looking like this. See? Now this part, simply again hot glue. You can do this with white glue too, guys, but it will take a little bit longer. Now do make sure it doesn't stick away, doesn't stick out of the edge. Okay? Just glue it down like so. See? Let me quickly. See? We have a little bit of an interior table. Wow. The table now, of course, we also gonna be doing the seats. Same deal, just offcut, but take the offcut the length of a popsicle stick. Okay? You can hold it up against it and simply cut it like this, and then cut it nicely in half. Just the half part will be too big, so just measure it. You're probably thinking, what the hell is this guy doing? Well, crafting the easy way, I guess. But yeah, you get the idea, right? So these and a popsicle stick on top of here as well. Again, cut off the rounded points. Take your glue gun, some glue on this. Just gonna use one of them. See, like this. Take your scissors. Voila. That's one part. Now we're gonna do the same for the other one. Hot glue on there. There we go. Next thing, take another popsicle stick, hold it against the edge, mark out the line. Do this. The glue gun gives giving me strings. So again, mark out. And we take our bench, our glue gun, squirt if he wants to. Well, doesn't have to be too much, like I'm doing right now. And then fiddle with it till you get the height that you desire, and simply make one of these. Voila. And this will be going here. Take the other bench, do the exact same thing. Just let it cure a little bit, because it's, well, I have to cut off the edge, but see, voila. And then we're gonna be gluing our benches here. The hot glue down. take the bench and simply make sure it doesn't overlap the line. Don't burn your fingers as I'm doing at the moment. Yeah, basically, see, looking nice for me. I don't mind. If you guys do not want to do this, then don't do this. If you want to put in more effort will get better results, obviously. For me, it's just simply to have something inside of the RV. But yeah, as you can see, nice bench. The miniature won't be able to walk next to it, but it doesn't matter. You can simply put it like this. Now I'm gonna make, I think I'm simply gonna make a single bit here, just a single bit. So yeah, taking an offcut, again, marking it out, cutting it out like so. Also take two of these. Take another piece of foam board. Put this aside. I know I'm quickly rushing over this, but there's still a lot of work of this RV to be done. So I don't want to spend too much time doing this, as you could probably tell. So yeah. And simply glue these parts together as well. Give it some time to cure before you start aligning them. This will be my bed. I know this has two parts here and everything, but I'm simply gonna make a bed here and maybe put a nightstand or something here instead of a toilet stand. We'll see. Once you've glued them and cut them, just simply glue it here. And what I'm gonna do next is again take my popsicle stick and if you glue two of them together, it will almost fill the popsicle stick, so it will have like that wooden the wooden frame. I understand if you guys don't want to go into too much effort doing this, because it's really not necessary if it is just a simple terrain piece, but I made a vow to myself to start by making my terrain playable on the inside, actually, instead of going using loose and tiles and everything. So yeah, we'll see how that turns out. Just let this cure, and then we're gonna lop off the edge. In the meantime, cut yourself a small square rectangle. This will be for your pillow, which we'll be gluing here. You can eyeball this. I did. If you measure it, it's half an inch, a little over half an inch. In centimeters, it's 1.5 centimeters by 1 centimeter. Okay. So just squirt some hot glue on here. And glue the pillow down. This in the meantime has cured, so well, this will be for my bed frame. So the RV now has a bench, a table and a bed inside of it. Let's have a look. See? Maybe a little detail you can do. I think I'm gonna just quit and just do the front row chairs here and the steering wheel. Other than that, I'm happy with this. You can simply have them. If you want to, you can make more. You can always make more, that's obviously. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it for what it is, so at least the miniatures can actually do something in here. Because if you fill it up with too much cupboards, you're gonna have to widen the RV to too much extent that it won't be realistic anymore. But at least this way you can have someone hide inside the RV, even have him sit up the front or make them walk, you know. have them stand here at the window, shoot outside. So it's just, yeah, better a little detail than no detail at all. Okay, for now I'm taking more offcuts and I'm just gonna measure the back seat here, the seats. So we're gonna mark out like so. Simply cut it, straighten it up a little bit, so you end up with a nice rectangle. Grab yourself some more foam board. Do the same. Not even drawing it anymore. Simply, that's how fast I'm working at the moment. So yeah, fits nicely. So what I'm gonna do now is simply mark out, well, it's actually better if you go mark out a halfway point and then move about half a centimeter like this, and or eyeball it, whatever you guys prefer, to make the chairs in the front. And we're simply going to be doing that the same way, the same exact way we did our benches. Yeah. So this will be for our front chairs. I'm going to be needing 4 parts of these. And again, same deal, hot glue. More hot glue. And build it up the same way you did the benches. Then cut out an edge of the popsicle stick with the rounded side. Put some hot glue down. This is almost 3 centimeters high, and I'm going to be gluing that to the back like this. See? No, like so. Do that for both chairs. Now go ahead and cut yourself 3 rectangles that are 5 centimeters in length and 1 centimeter in width. Then glue those to each other as well. Glue that in front here. This will be our dashboard. Sorry for the mess I'm leaving here, guys. I am a messy crafter, though. I gotta say that, be honest. Just glue those 3 on top of each other, and when you've done that, this will be our dashboard. Just tilt it a little forward. See? Like this. So for me, this interior will do just fine. Okay? I'm happy with this. Of course, we're going to be painting that up and everything, but for me, yeah, I'm happy with this. You can have miniatures standing inside, so yeah, that's basically that I wanted. You, those who want more details, feel free to do so, guys. For me, this is enough, but for those of you who want to do more, I'll go ahead, do more, okay? So at the moment, the only thing that's left is the steering wheel, and I'm gonna be using a bead for that. Well, on second thought, I found something better, a thumbtack. I've dipped the end in some hot glue. I'm simply gonna press it down. Voila! Instant steering wheel. There we go. Okay, now let's continue on to more stuff you guys wanted to see. For those of you who still have the cutout piece of the door, you're going to be using that now. If you don't have it anymore, no worries, get yourself some cardstock and glue that inside here. So I'm taking my hot glue gun Run a little bit, very little, definitely not too much. At the back, make sure you fit your door in. It doesn't have to look like this because we're still going to be painting over it, so no worries, but just, yeah, glue the door in, like so. See? Alright. Next thing we're going to be doing is gluing this together. But before we're going to do that, very first thing important, we're going to be making the wheels. Now the wheels, I'm using these 20mm wooden buttons, and you're going to be needing 8 in total, 2 per wheel. There we go. Then you take your glue gun. On the back of the button, not the deep side, but on the back side, put the hot glue and align them and glue them together like this. See? Now, do that for all 8. Voila. So, damn strings. So I end up with 8 of these things, 4 of these things. This will be our wheels, which we will be gluing like this on here. So just put some hot glue at the top here, take your wheel, stick it down. You gotta just make sure that you see the 4 holes that resemble bolts or whatever you want to stick out. Do that also for the other side here. Like this. Set it down. So, yeah. Now do that as well for the other part. I'll be back when that is done. Once you've glued them, just squirt a little hot glue extra on there to reinforce them. Like so. Voila. Next, take your side, your inner piece, and squirt the hot glue on the side of it. Like this. This is the side of the door, and just lay it on top of your wheels. Like this. Press it down so the glue can adhere to it better. See? Don't worry about this because everything will be covered up basically. Now put glue on the other side as well. And repeat the process. Make sure the wheels hit the floor to get the precise measurements of how it must be. Press it down. And basically we will start to have something that is beginning to look like Dale's RV. See? And on the inside, we grab a miniature again. Okay, there's a walker. You can move. There are people on the inside. You can simply put them on top here, it doesn't really matter. Put them on the table. No, it's not all that big, but say the walker enters, you shoot it, bam. And you can go outside, but at least you have something to play inside, so yeah, personally I like it. So, continuing on, because we're not done yet. For the next part, we're gonna be making our bumpers, our windows, and the top pieces and everything here, okay? So, what we're gonna do, set this aside, let's take some more foam board, and we're gonna measure 6 centimeters, because with the two half centimeter walls to it, the 5 centimeter will now become 6 centimeters. So let's measure this just to be on the safe side. Yeah, 6 centimeters. Then measure the height of this, and it's 2.5 centimeters, so it will be 6 centimeters by 2.5 centimeters. Simply mark that out. Take your knife. And start cutting that out. Once you've done that, dry fit it against your RV. See? Fits nicely. Okay, then peel the paper off again. It's a small piece, so it should be... God, I need the ready boards. Okay, but you get the idea. Then what I'm going to do, I have also an image of the detailed front side. I'm going to be drawing that inside here. So I'll set this aside, take my pencil, and simply start by freehanding, just draw the lights. Try to be as exact as you can. And for the top part of the grill, you can always go and measure this, of course, if you prefer. I'm just simply drawing of the image I have. Taking my ballpoint pen to make it look a little bit better, obviously. Then take your X-Acto and start by scoring it again exactly the same way as you did the side panels of the RV. See? Score it. And it has grates in it, so we're gonna be eyeballing to do a grid in here. Same here. Try to be as straight as you can. For the lights, do the exact same thing. Just simply start by making small incisions. Sorry for my English. I'm from Belgium, so my English isn't perfect, but I hope you guys understand what I'm talking about. It isn't as easy as you would think. I hope you can see what I'm doing. My fingers aren't obstructing your view. You get the idea. Also score. Not pausing the camera, so it will be a long video. But those of you who are familiar with the modern terrain craft, you know my videos are always long as videos. I apologize for those of you who don't like the long videos. You can always fast forward if you want to. I prefer make long videos because I am one who also enjoys watching long videos. I don't want to put you guys to sleep. No. See? So with the ballpoint pen I made the incisions. Now I'm taking my pin again, the same thing we used for the side panels, and I'm dragging it through the grate here, the grit or the grate or whatever you call it. Simply dragging it through the grill. Yeah, that's it, the grill. So it will end up with something looking like this. Put the light on. Yeah, I went to get some coffee, so I put my light out. See? And this will be glued on here. Now, you can do it with the white glue. White glue is always neater than the hot glue, but the hot glue for making videos, I found out, goes a lot faster. Okay, so my my glue gun has been heated up, so I'm putting a little bit on the back here. And I'm gluing this bumper grill down. See? Like this. Now for this part I'm gonna use cardstock. Okay? It's the same cardstock you can use that you used for the template. Just put this on here, or also measure if you want to. Simply marking it out like this. Now maybe I should better measure the depth of this, and it is 1.5 centimeters. 1.5 centimeters. So you have a piece of cardstock that is 6 centimeters, and you now go and measure 1.5 centimeters. Always before gluing, dry fit. You can see, yeah, it works. So again, some hot glue on this part here, on this part here, on the front, and just stick your cardstock